Assalamualaikum and hi. First of all, let me thank you for taking the time to listen to presentations from our group. Today, our group will be presenting on one of the current issues nowadays, that is fake news. But before we start, I would like to introduce our group member, that is Syaffi Syamini binti Selamad with metric numbers of 207310 as the first presenter, Sharifah Adibah binti Serail with metric number of 205518 as the second presenter, and Nur Syaqirah binti Mohamad Azemi with metric number of 206297 as the third presenter.
Regarding to the Pew Research Center, the crisis we face about truth and reliable fact is predicted less on the ability to get people to believe the wrong thing, that is on the ability to get people to doubt the right thing. So it is understandable if we are ignorant, since no one can know everything. But people believe the wrong thing, however, is the same as spreading false knowledge, that is having incorrect information regarding something which lead to fake news. You have probably heard this statement a million times before. We can stop fake news from being mad, but we can stop sharing it until it triggers us again, as the statement has proved to be true. So fake news is not a new thing nowadays, as it seems to be ingrained in the souls of society. So next is, yes, various reasons. So this happened for various reasons. For example, the attitude of an individual, society, development of information and communication technology, which is ICT. And the last one is the role of the meeting in the frequency of repeating the fake news. So next. All right. This lead the subject of our presentation, which is the factor of the transmission of the fake news. So hence, the information we are going to share with everyone today comes mostly from our readings and the research we have conducted. Our research today will be divided into 3 sections, which is introduction and 4 major factors of transmission of fake news. And the last one is conclusion as well as recommendation or suggestion. So next, first, I will present the introduction. Fake news is false or misleading information presented as news. It often has the aim of damaging reputation of a person or entity, or making money through advertising revenue. Fake news is an article or video containing untrue information discussed as a credible news source. While fake news is not unique or genuine to the internet, it has recently become a big problem in today's digital world. The internet is an incredible resource for news and information, but unfortunately, not everything in online is trustworthy. So next. All right. I will present the first factor of the transmission of fake news, that is the attitude of an individual who spread the news in an emotional state. So some news that we receive maybe will disturb our feelings. Sometimes we will just spread them without recognizing its authenticity because we are too emotional when we receive the news. So the probability of the news being spread to become unauthentic is very, very high. So decision of spreading the news made when we are emotion often inaccurate. So for example, regarding to the McDonald's issue, the average Malaysian is so angry and upset with inhuman nature of the Israel army against the Palestine one, that they are asking the public to boycott all products closely related to Israel. Among those, all affected was McDonald's, but the fact is McDonald has said that McDonald's Malaysia has nothing to do with Israel. Plus, they does not funnel money or fund to them. Then McDonald Malaysia has acted by making a report on the baseless allegation level at them. It is shown that when we are angry, happy, stressed, etc., we cannot think clearly. What we put forward is nothing than more our emotion. So the decision taken at that time when your emotion is usually the wrong decision, to hurry. So often it will causes regret at the end. So think carefully, okay? I will pass to the Hannah.
Next, factor of the transmission of fake news is the attitude of society that takes refuge under the principle of human rights as a license to share views and information. It is undeniable that some unscrupulous people are abusing the advantages of freedom of speech and expressions as a medium to express their views, voice their opinions, and share information. Consumers tend to believe they have accurate views and they prefer the information which supports their existing beliefs. They do not value the nature of tolerance and open discussion. For example, the attitude of some communities in this pandemic phase, where they go beyond the limits by disseminating personal information about patients who are still under investigation and have not yet been verified whether they are positive for COVID-19 or not. By doing so, they do not realize that they can increase anxiety and cause fear in society. The spread of fake news will harm the mentality of the panicked society and then push them to point fingers and blame certain groups based on assumptions. Moving on to the third factor of transmission of fake news, that is the development of information and communication technology, ICT, as a medium of communication and dissemination of information without restrictions. There is too many unproven information spread through the internet. With just one click, various unfounded rumors and statements mixed with slander spread so quickly that it can cause public concern and panic among the community. For example, the spread of fake news among for example, the spread of fake news about the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines MAS flight, which is MH370 in 2014. There was speculation on social media that the plane had landed safely in China and speculation that the plane had landed safely in Vietnam. However, there is also speculation that the plane crashed in the South China Sea. With just one click, various speculations spread so quickly that caused nothing else but added to the grief of the family members of the plane crash. This is due to the inhuman actions of some parties to take advantage of the critical moment as a platform to gain publicity. This shown that the development of ICT is one of main factors of the transmission of fake news. I think that is all from me. Syaqirah will continue the presentation.
Last but not least, the role of the media in the frequency of repeating the fake news is one of the factors of the transmission of fake news. When media, including traditional media, malicious accounts, and trolls, continue sharing fake news, the reappearing frequency of fake news goes higher. This can strike the consumer's vulnerability, which people may naturally believe the information they see or hear frequently. According to Baran and Davis, 2012, this can also be explained by the mass communication theory, agenda setting theory, where the media set the important agenda to the society by some methods. Sinar Harian has said, no matter what it said about the disadvantage about the media, Social media is also a trigger to the issue that is covered by the mass media. For example, the the issue of the Shakli company being believed to have contributed funds to the Israeli military because one of the company's directors was of Israeli descent. Shakli company itself had stated in 2014 regarding the matter in which this statement of the company is in close contact with the Israeli army was not true at all. However, the issue was raised again in 2021 by social media. In conclusion, the spread of fake news in society is indeed a problem that is difficult to curb because it involves the cooperation of many parties. If the cooperation of all parties cannot be achieved, then this problem will continue and even become more widespread. Therefore, in addition to enforcing the law from the authorities, the community must also cultivate a responsible attitude to comply with every order from the government. The government has already taken action by imposing compounds and imprisonment on some irresponsible parties, but there are still a handful of people who dare to commit this serious offense. So, the offense the offense of spreading this fake news must be controlled immediately to ensure that there is no misunderstanding among the community, which can also threaten the unity of the country. I think that's all from our group. Thank you.